How to build real confidence and improve self-esteem? Are you tired of giving your power? I was too a couple of years ago, and that's okay. But I will share with you a few tips on how to boost your confidence and stop depending on external events so you feel good with yourself. I will start with the question, why do we lack self-confidence? Maybe like early childhood trauma or problems at school or overthinking with no action could be also a cause, physical, mental issues, or even relationship problems. Now I will give you 3 key questions so you can start identifying where is the problem coming from. First question would be, how would you describe your relationship with your parents growing up? Think about it. Second question, what is the most memorable moment when you felt incompetent, ashamed, or not good enough? Third question, can you remember saying a definitive statement to yourself such as, I will never trust anyone ever again. People always leave me because I'm unlovable, or I'm a bad person, or I am boring. These questions might help you get to know yourself better, and I really want you to take the time to ask yourself these questions. My first and best tip is to get to know yourself better. What are your weaknesses and what are your strengths? The things you are good at. Because you see, the funny thing is most of us choose to focus on to improving our weaknesses instead of what we are good at. And this makes it more difficult. So instead of those, I want you to focus today on this. What are your top 3 strengths? Or what traits of yours you like most? Or things you are good at and enjoy doing the most? Write it down. I want you to write it down. Then think about how you can use these 3 strengths in your life, relationship, and career more. Try it and then write down how any of these qualities have helped you before. And after you're done with that, make a list with what are 3 of your weaknesses, and here I want you to think about things you want to improve. The purpose of this is for you to uncover what you are being currently critical of, and then think about what you can learn from your weaknesses, because these usually are there to teach us something, and mostly for us to embrace trying and improving depending on the case. Of course, there could also be things that we are simply not good at because it's not our stuff, and those you shouldn't force also, like I would advise you not to. Another strong tip that I have for you today is that you have to learn to love your scars. If you have problems with self-esteem, it's most likely you are not being very kind to yourself. So be careful how you talk to yourself. Try to talk to yourself like how you would initiate a conversation with your best friend. You can only start loving your scars by accepting every broken part and honor the pain that you've been through. And something that is very important for you to understand is if you are playing the victim role into your own life. Yes, I get it. If that's the case, I had been there myself, and I was playing over and over the same pattern, and I wasn't changing much because it's so comfortable to blame an event or a person for the way you feel about yourself and if you are somehow stuck. But the truth is that once you acknowledge your pain that has been caused by a specific person or event, or maybe your ex, it is your responsibility for how you respond onto a similar situation in the future. And I know it may sound harsh, but if you don't pick yourself together and see the role you played in your own suffering as well, no one will come to save you. And you will end up hating yourself, which is such an exhausting emotion and so unnecessary. Trust me. So ask yourself, where are you currently playing the victim role in your own life? It could be anything, your job or your partner who doesn't understand. And I want you to be brutally honest with yourself, so you can find the strength that's hiding behind that weakness that you are so afraid to acknowledge. My favorite tip that worked wonders for me is do something that scares you daily, no matter how small. it is. Maybe could be you are afraid of changing gyms because you feel comfortable in your current gym and you don't feel confident around new people when you work out. I did this, by the way. I have this funny story. It's like I moved into a new city, like I told you, and in this gym that I was going, there was no lady side, like no gym for the ladies inside of the gym. So I don't know why, but for some reason I didn't feel very comfortable around men, training around men. Which, if you understand what I'm gonna say, you will for sure know what I'm talking about. Let's say you're having glutes day and you're working out, and there are men that are staring, and this used to make me feel so uncomfortable that it led me to the decision of changing 3 gyms so that I find a gym that has like a special side just for ladies. Well, guess what? I mean, the 3rd gym that I tried, it still doesn't have a ladies side, but I just started getting comfortable with not caring. Even though it's not very nicely when there are like 3 guys behind you and they're staring at you and they're making jokes, or you can clearly see like on their facial figures that they are sexualizing you a lot. But the thing is, like, I don't give a fuck now. I just don't care. The reality is that the moment you stop caring about those things, they have no power over you. And this was something that used to scare me. I will give you another examples that I've been through. I was super scared to live by myself after my longest relationship I had, where I was engaged. I just didn't know how to live by myself. Like, I've been with this guy for 7 years, and we started living together since I was like 17 until 22, and I just didn't know how to live my life without this person. And just the simple idea of being by myself somewhere alone, it was scaring the shit out of me. So what I did is, after we broke up, I moved country. We were living in Dublin in Ireland at that time, and I decided to move to Germany alone, where the only people that I had around were my parents, and I wasn't exactly in the best situation with my parents at that time. So imagine that I moved into a different country where I did not know anybody. I was completely by myself. By the way, it took me a year and a half to actually make friends here. So if this is something that scares you, like moving on with your life, even you have to take that super extreme decision of moving countries in order to beat one of your fears or things that you feel that are keeping you back, do it. Just do it. In the beginning, it's gonna feel like you're losing a lot, but trust me, in the long run, you're gonna start feeling so powerful, because this is what happened to me. I started feeling so powerful. Because at that age, I had friends that were men, and they did not have this kind of courage that I had. And I think this is a pinpoint in my life where I can truly say that's how I gained my power back. That move gave me so much courage. I don't think I'll be afraid of something similar again ever in my life. So go ahead and try it. Maybe not something so extreme. I have another example. I was super scared of releasing the podcast. I used to care too much of how others will see me, And after I did, it was just the push that I needed, I swear. It's just the push that I needed to stop caring about it, about how other people will see me. Or another example is that I would ask my best friend which picture I should post on my Instagram story. Now, I know this is very silly, but I know that a lot of girls out there that are listening right now are probably going to similar stories where they think it's just a problem about them not really knowing what to decide about whatever picture they should post on Instagram. But the truth is that we do this because we need a confirmation that it is a good idea to post that kind of picture, or like a specific picture on Instagram, and we need the approval from someone else before we do it, because we don't feel confident enough in ourselves. And this is something that I used to struggle with. Besides, also posting pictures with filters on my face, but this is not the case. The case is I used to ask her, babe, what picture I should post on my Instagram? And honestly, I think that this is stupid. Why would I need someone to tell me which picture I should post? And the answer is, if you find yourself in that case, it is because you are not confident in yourself. So you can start by not asking someone which picture you should post first, and just take that decision by yourself. Even if you delete the picture 10 seconds after, it doesn't matter. Give yourself that freedom in which you feel like you took the decision by yourself because you're confident in yourself. And with time, it's gonna get better, trust me. Another example is I was scared of coming back. Again, after more than half a year of being inactive and not posting any episode on the podcast, and now I'm back here and I feel more confident than ever. And I have to say it wasn't easy. Like, it took me a couple of months to be able to come back with new episodes and everything because I've been preparing. But the reason for which it took me so long, it was because I was afraid. And then I had to push myself. I had to do all of those little steps necessary for me to feel safe to do this. And this is also something you can do if you don't feel ready to do something right away, which, to be honest, we're never gonna be ready. This is just an excuse. Start doing the other little things that would help you feel ready for that thing, and then you have no excuse, because this is literally what I did, and look, here I am. So if it worked for me, which, trust me, I'm no special, it is absolutely and definitely going to work for you as well. You can start really small by standing up for yourself in a conversation where you feel you aren't being treated the way that you deserve, or maybe send that message that you've been avoiding to send for some time because of the fear of how you would be seen. If you hear me, maybe that's you. Or go for something that you like but you took a step back before. The truth is that self-confidence, it's just a skill. And as any other skills, it can be trained, just as a muscle. And you can work on your self-confidence by becoming a better version of yourself. And for my girlies, when I say this, I mean internally as well, not just externally, because that doesn't help us sleep good at night. And here, I'm talking about making sure we only look good on the surface, which can end up making you feel super insecure and play with your confidence a lot. And what I'm saying here is a lot of us become victims of the society. Society wants women to feel insecure because the moment a woman is insecure, she becomes inconvenient. And she has high standards, like she doesn't buy things to change herself, and she doesn't let you project your traumas onto her because she doesn't fear being alone. The society is still operating from a low standard system and wants to keep women insecure, so don't be a victim of it. Because look at the shelves in the stores and you will see products continually teaching women that we're not enough or that something is constantly wrong with us. With our smell, with our hair, with our body, with our face. But remember to ask yourself what improvement you truly need, and if the need for improvement comes from within or from external views. But I will be talking about how the society has a huge imprint on our insecurities as women and how to stop it in a different episode. Thank you, and seeing you next time. Don't forget to share this episode with your girlies and with your friends, and also follow the page on Instagram. That would be amazing, and I'll see you next time. I love you. Bye bye. Mwah.